Please welcoming this year's commencement speaker, Steave Jobs.
Thank you. I'm honored to be with you today for your commencement from one of the finest universities in the world. Truth be told, I never graduated from college, and this is the closest I've ever gotten to a college graduation. It started before I was born. This was the start in my life. And 17 years later, I did go to college. I couldn't see the value in it. I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life, and no idea how college was going to help me figure it out. And here I was, spending all of the money my parents had saved their entire life. So I decided to drop out and trust that it would all work out okay. It was pretty scary at the time, but looking back, it was one of the best decisions I ever made. By following my curiosity and intuition, turned out to be priceless later on. Let me give you one example. Throughout the campus, every poster, every label on every drawer was beautifully hand calligraphed. I learned none of this had even a hope of any practical application in my life. Designing the first Macintosh computer, it all came back to me. And we designed it all into the Mac. It was the first computer with beautiful typography. If I had never dropped in on that single course in college, the Mac would have never had multiple typefaces or proportionally spaced fonts. But it was very, very clear looking backwards. Again, so you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. You have to trust in something, your gut, destiny, life, karma, whatever. Because believing that the dots will connect down the road will give you the confidence to follow your heart, even when it leads you off the well-worn path. And that will make all the difference. My second story is about love and loss. I was lucky. I found what I loved to do early in life. We worked hard from just the two of us in a garage. We just released our finest creation, the Macintosh, a year earlier, and I just turned 30. And for the first year or so, things went well. But then our visions of the future began to diverge, and eventually we had a falling out. When we did, and so at 30, I was out, and very publicly out, and it was devastating. I really didn't know what to do for a few months. I felt that I was a very public failure, and I even thought about running away from the valley. But something slowly began to dawn on me. I still loved what I did. I'd been rejected, but I was still in love, and fell in love with an amazing woman who would become my wife. In a remarkable turn of events, I returned to Apple, and the technology we developed at Next is at the heart of Apple's current renaissance. And Lorene and I have a wonderful family together. I'm pretty sure none of this would have happened if I hadn't been fired from Apple. It was awful tasting medicine, but I guess the patient needed it. Sometimes life's going to hit you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith. I'm convinced that the only thing that kept me going was that I loved what I did. You've got to find what you love, and that is as true for work as it is for your lovers. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. As with all matters of the heart, you'll know when you find it. And like any great relationship, it just gets better and better as the years roll on. My third story is about death. When I was 17, I read a quote that went something like, "If you live each day as if it was your last, someday you'll most certainly be right." It made an impression on me, and since then, for the past 33 years, I've looked in the mirror every morning and asked myself, if today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I am about to do today? And whenever the answer has been no for too many days in a row, I know I need to change something. Remembering that I'll be dead soon is the most important tool I've ever encountered to help me make the big choices in life. All pride, all fear of embarrassment or failure, these things just fall away in the face of death, leaving only what is truly important. Remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose. You are already naked. There is no reason not to follow your heart.